air, water, earth, fire. For hundreds of years, the four nations have lived in harmony. The Avatar, master of all four elements, was always responsible for maintaining the peace. But Avatar Roku passed away 13 years ago. Now, the four nations look to the air nomads to reveal the next Avatar, but the world is met with silence. Rumors from the Earth Kingdom abound that the Fire Nation is planning an aggressive move into the Earth Kingdom. 5 young heroes were too late to save the Southern Air Temple, but they hold vital information that could save the Earth Kingdom and maybe even save the world. Previously on the Flying Bison podcast.
Still reeling from the events of Half Moon Hollow, now the boys also have to figure out what they're going to do without their fearless leader, Leeko. Meanwhile, Leeko discovers one of the points on the map is home to a mysterious compound.
Hey guys, I need something from all of you. I have been feeling just a little down lately. So in a minute, I'm gonna ask you to do something for me. But I'm gonna explain what I need from you. So I don't like, as I said,
wow, most of my friends are not this direct, but I really appreciate this.
I know it's, I'm just glad no one else is listening to this, and that it's just the 6 of us. But like I said, I've just been feeling kind of down. So I don't really care how you do it. It can be some kind words or a nice memory that we have together, or your sentimentality. But in a minute, I'm gonna need one of you to just pump me up. So in a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental person here to pump me up.
Anyone feeling particularly
just one person or all of us?
Gushy?
Man, I feel that was at least an A- dad joke.
Still not landing with me.
Yep, nope.
Yeah.
In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental person to pump me up.
Is that from something? Did you just make that up?
Right? No. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Johnny, are you trolling?
The real comedy hits here.
Lizzo.
Who?
Is that Lizard?
Is
Funny,
that
I saw her live, and I don't.
Livo.
This is going downhill.
Alright,
This is
we're
a
just-
terrible
we're just-
opening.
I thought it was funny.
Oh
no. That's fine. Sure, fine.
We tried it.
We can
Try
delete
this again.
this.
5, 4, 3.
I was getting ready to pump you up.
I asked
I
one or all.
I should have known Steve of all people would not know what I was talking about.
Justin, I will prepare words of affirmation post haste.
It was a Lizzo joke. It was a great.
I haven't
It was
listened to
a
anything
mediocre.
since the romantic period.
That's fine.
So
All right.
sorry.
Well,
Because Steve's been around since the
Good old fogey bones.
forget that. Forget that.
His newest album is Bach.
Well, I tried and failed spectacularly. They can't all be A+ openings. So instead, I'm gonna make all of us argue and yell at each other.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
We're good at that.
Welcome to Pointless Argument Part 2. When last we left off, we asked the question, are there more doors or wheels?
Oh no,
No.
no.
Now today, I was already preparing herself for this. I asked you this question. Are there more eyes or legs in the world?
Of all kinds.
I'd say there's probably.
What does your gut say? Come on, Monroe. Don't think about it too hard. Just commit.
More legs?
Legs.
No,
I'm thinking of
I'm on team.
octopus,
Yeah, I'm thinking centipedes. I'm thinking
I was thinking about
Spider.
all of
Things
the
that have
fish in the
100
ocean
eyes.
that don't have legs.
Team legs.
Yeah, but think
You're
about
right,
this.
Nick.
Think
But
about this. This is a fun animal fact and a fun leg fact for you. Is the humans weigh approximately 10,000 times more than an insect. And insects cumulatively weigh about 10 times as much as all humans, which means that there are that many, like most insects have 6 legs, if not all of them, because that's what an insect is,
Or
6-legged
more,
animal
potentially.
with 2
Yeah.
eyes. And they weigh, the cumulative weight of all insects is 10 times the cumulative weight of all humans, which means that I don't even have a number for how many insects that represents, which means it's 6 times as many legs as there are insects.
See,
Insects
I
also have more eyes.
I was gonna say I'm with Nick. I was actually gonna take that exact same route to argue for more eyes.
No, Jurassic
Yeah.
Squad is all legs, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
More legs.
I think because like on those insects, like how many eyes do spiders have? Tons. Scorpions,
So,
tons.
eight.
Some of them
Eight,
only have
uh,
2 though.
Yeah.
But
If
they
you
have
have
Some of them
a-
only
yeah.
have 2,
let's
and then you
how
have
many
cancel
ants.
out. Spiders cancel themselves out because they have 8 eyes and 8 legs.
Well, then so do
Well,
humans.
Yeah, so do humans.
Yeah.
2 eyes, 2 legs. I got you.
So
I got
everything
you,
that
that's
has
fine.
the same
But yeah,
number
we
of
still
eyes
have
and
a
the same
lot
number of
of
legs cancels itself out. But
Sure.
So then you got dogs, cats.
Well,
You've
now that
got
brings up a question: is
ants.
a paw a leg?
What?
no, but the
Well, they
leg,
have
the
legs.
paw is
Attached to a
at the
leg.
end of a
What?
leg.
The paw is a hand. Yeah, it's
Is a hand a leg? What are you talking about?
It's
Is
not
a
the
foot a
same.
leg, guys? Is a foot a
thing.
leg?
And then
No, but a foot's at the
and
end.
then you've
of
got creatures. You've got creatures in the darkness of the ocean that we have that we do know about that have no eyes but legs. So it's like, right?
They usually have eyes.
Or they're
Also,
okay, so they have
for
2.
insects, technically, when they have the big bulbous eyes, every single section is its own like eye that can process like light.
But not
and
all,
stuff.
not all
So
insects
do we
have
count?
those. Ants don't have those sectioned eyes. They just have a single eye.
Exactly.
that's
What
true.
about centipedes?
But for those insects, do we count?
Yeah,
those?
centipedes.
Well,
Multiple
centipedes just
eyes?
have a lot of
Absolutely.
legs.
Millipedes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All those other ones?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say
Do
that
we
those
count-
are just appendages off of a giant leg.
But here's another thing. Do we count light spots, like light sensitive spots, as eyes? Because then every single like
Camera?
amoeba with a light spot.
Every camera's an eye.
What?
No.
I guess it could
All
also
right.
do that.
Tripods.
I think we were talking about things that were alive.
Hey, yo, coming in quick with this tripod.
Let me-
Mic
Yeah,
stand.
so one thing that I'm
Three.
trying to balance in my head is like, yeah, the certain creatures that have a lot of eyes but don't have as many legs, like chitons, which is a type of mollusk. There's over 7,000 million of those in the planet, and each of them has over like 1,000 eyes. So there's a lot of
That's a lot of
eyes
eyes.
right there. But I just have to think about some of these weird, obscure species.
Tell
But,
me,
also,
Johnny,
I'm still leaning
Monroe,
team
tell-
legs.
Tell me an animal that's got 1,000 legs.
Tell me an animal that has 1,000 eyes.
Steve just
A chitin.
did.
Which one?
A
A
chitin.
chitin?
A chitin?
I've never heard
I
of it.
pulled-
Let me look it up. I
I
take your word
pulled
for it. I just
three-
want to look it up.
I pulled 3 of those, and I've already got. You have to catch up on your leg counting to catch up to Nick and I.
What do they look like? Okay, so I look it up, and I get like. Are you? How do you spell that? Because I looked it up, and it's like a cat and a chicken mixed together.
Yep, that's it. With 1,000 eyes.
What? What? No.
Is that real?
Chiton. It's a type of. It's from the mollusk family.
T-O-N. Okay.
Yeah, Chiton.
Can someone please draw the cat chicken
Oh, okay.
hybrid with 1,000 eyes?
Okay.
I was
no,
gonna say,
please.
aren't chittens those
I wanna
giant
see
bugs from
We
Skyrim?
need fan art. Cat
Yes.
chicken,
Looks like
1,000
it.
eyes. Put that in the universe,
Cat-
Justin.
cat
Those
chicken,
aren't-
Chicken with
1,000
1,000 eyes. That is terrifying. And then the party encountered
It's
1,000-eyed cat chicken.
That's a great spirit enemy for sure.
Can that be the
Um,
boss for season
Here's
2?
the real Here's the real question. Do we count a snake as having 1 leg, as like being a leg with 2 eyes?
No,
No.
they have no eye or no
What?
legs. They have 2 eyes and no legs.
No, like they have no legs.
Aren't they just a leg?
No.
They're just
They're a
like
spine.
one appendage.
Also, I'm gonna get back to trying to define what is like an eye and what is a leg because
Yo,
Hey,
do we
don't-
you
count,
were the
like, Scylla?
philosophy major. It's like, yo, a snake is just a leg.
I think that's just a body. It's a body, right?
It's
Not
a
leg.
body.
The
The
biology
leg.
major, not a biology major.
So the leg mates
It's
and
becoming very
poops. Like,
That's right. That's a useful leg. All right, I think we can leave this one aside now.
Danny, you haven't said anything this entire time, so I'm giving you end this conversation once and for
Yeah.
all.
Alex.
final-
Alex.
Wow.
So that's
As a true harmony-oriented brother.
I'm just happy to be here.
it doesn't say anything about its eyes.
What are you?
How did you get this information that has 1,000 eyes?
He
I
just-
searched
I've been trying to come to a
animals that have a
conclusion.
lot of eyes, and it says up to 1,000.
Really?
I've
Yeah.
been trying to come to like a reasonable conclusion,
wrong.
but the more I listen to the absurdity of this conversation, I cannot find one. Are fins legs? If fins are legs, and Nick's vastness of the ocean argument is shot down.
Fins are not legs.
Fins are
No,
not
fins are-
legs.
Fins are definitely not.
Are
You are
tentacles
so
legs?
sure
'Cause they
for
call them
someone who
octopus
just
legs.
wondered
Yeah.
about snake legs. I love this.
I love playing the fool. It's a very fun role to play.
Yeah, he's just playing it, guys. Don't.
Yeah. He's
Don't for a
trolling
second
us.
think
All right,
that
Nick,
is-
we're on the same side here. I'm on
Sorry.
Team Eyes.
It was too easy. I couldn't. You're also
Real
trying to give them legs, so don't talk to me.
Okay, you're right. And let's say a chitin has up to 1,000 eyes.
There we
Scallops
go.
have 200 eyes, box jellyfish have 24, scorpions have 12, horseshoe crabs have 10, jumping spider have 8, and order-faced spiders have 8.
That's a lot of eyes, guys.
That is a lot
Rocking
of
'em.
eyes.
Yeah.
That's a lot
But
of eyes.
then
I,
millipedes have a lot of legs.
How many?
Oh.
The average millipede has 750 legs, and there is
Okay.
a increasingly proliferated version or species of millipede that has 1,306.
There, boom, Team Jurassic.
Team Jurassic.
Right there.
For our listeners,
gonna
they
understand.
both happen to wear
Fossils.
Jurassic park merch
Park.
today.
Yeah.
It's the fossils, man. You can't.
I've always been a legs guy.
Nice.
Gross.
I knew it would be. I'm actually not in real life. I just thought it'd be funny to say.
It's okay.
Well, you know who's
Betrayed my trust.
also
Okay, Steve.
probably who's also probably not a leg guy. Kanu.
What?
Not
Neither a
even a
guy
guy.
nor a
Probably not
leg
even a
guy.
guy.
That's why she's probably not a leg guy.
Maybe sometimes you should just stop searching for these segues.
I
At
I
one
like-
point, she
I like-
had no eyes, but she had legs.
It's
Hey.
true. It's true.
I like using "all right, you dummies." I just think you need to use that more.
No,
And then
I've used
transition.
it. I've used it. It's done. It's old hat.
Yeah,
at
you
this
gotta let
point.
it go, Steve. You
Yeah,
gotta,
you gotta let it go.
it's
It
done.
was funny. I tell my 4-year-old this all the time. A joke gets less funny every time you tell it. He hasn't learned it yet because I tell him the same joke over and over again for literally 30 minutes straight. But it's
so
not funny.
aren't you encouraging the problem by telling him the joke?
Well, here's the thing. You can't just not. It's a 4-year-old. You can't just be like, no, I'm not going to say that anymore. Because he's like laughing and giggling. And
Oh,
I
he's
love,
encouraging.
I love to watch him
Yeah.
laugh and giggle. So it's like, of course I'm going to tell you this joke 80 times. But it
Yeah.
kills me inside every time I tell it.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, so Kanu.
He's fine.
So Kanu, which is funny because I actually, I don't know. Where do you guys want to start? You want to start in the Lake Laogai prison?
Can we just start over?
Yeah,
Sure.
We start from the beginning.
All right, you're
Yeah.
flying away from Chin Village. Everyone's got their appendages.
No.
Osa's back, but Shoban's there too. And then
Yeah, he's-
the Matrix glitches, and it's all a dream.
Not a bad dream having Osa alive.
I'm cool with starting with the guys.
All right. So instead of starting with what's happening in Lake Laogai, we're gonna let that sit for a second, and instead we're gonna go back to Tusu Village, outside of Full Moon Bay. You're all at the first floor of the inn that you were staying at, and you have decided that you are going to try and find a way to chase after Leeko. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I think there's a big problem. No?
And for now, Shoban is agreeing to stay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Shoban has agreed
Yeah.
to stay. I do see a big problem, though, in your attempts to chase after Leeko. Two, actually.
You're talking about our ride?
That is
And
one,
the fact that we
your
have
ride
no
is
idea
missing.
where she went.
and the fact that you have literally no idea where she went. You have a direction,
Oh,
a
yeah,
heading.
that would be an obstacle.
So I've got to know, what do you guys do?
So to be clear, I asked Shoban last episode, did you see which direction Rue was flying in? And I think he said no.
I think I gave you a heading.
You gave us a
Well,
heading?
I
Okay.
Yeah.
had said no.
I mean,
but I think Justin.
Okay. You would be able to see the direction that Roof flies off of. I mean, flying in somewhat the direction of Ba Sing Se.
Well, that's convenient. That means we have to choose between going towards Ba Sing Se and going towards Ba Sing Se,
Right.
right? So which one do you want to
I
do?
hope Boston say.
Oh, good.
Actually, I'm gonna have to disagree,
actually,
Shoban.
I
I vote
also
Bossing
disagree.
Say.
I disagree with both of you. We're not going to Ba Sing Se right now. We need to go talk to the buff lady.
What would she give us?
I don't know, something. We just saved all of her people.
Speaking of Che, can I have some
Yeah,
jade?
What for?
For buying something from the buff lady?
Well,
Or from
should-
one
we
of her
should s-
friends?
We should see if we can get it for free first, right?
Oh, for sure. I'll let you do the talking then.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so
Go try to find the lady. I forgot her
you,
name.
We're off to see the buff lady.
Zishan, Zishan, you go
I've
back.
executively decided that she is buff.
She's pretty buff. She's pretty buff. You kick down the door to the cove, find yourself back in this flurry of activity and people selling things and whatnot, people recovering from what just happened. And you see Ren, you lead them back to that stall you were at, and Zishan is there talking to the owner. And she sees you and she turns around. Says, I got him to say that for you if you're still interested.
He just
Thanks.
went on late. Couldn't
Yeah,
get
they
it.
have layaway. Yeah.
Oh.
Che,
Yeah, what? Yes.
you gonna? Yeah.
Yeah. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Zishan.
Zishan.
Zishan. Hi. So I wanted to start off by saying, sorry, for what happened. Not my fault, but you know, he is my father technically, so thought I should say I'm sorry, and but also we kind of need some help. And you did abduct us, so I was hoping we could get a little assistance here. We lost our friend and our ride. Could really use, like, you know, a way to Ba Sing Se and maybe some help finding our friend.
Why don't you plead?
Actually, okay.
Actually, I'm gonna punch her in the face and intimidate her.
I rolled an 8, so -1 harmony is 7.
That's still a weak hit. She looks at your party and goes, "Thank you for apologizing. I appreciate that, and I'm sorry I let your dad pull the wool over my eyes and convince me that you were a threat when clearly you seem like the heroes that, well, this world needs."
Ren stands just a little straighter.
She kind of sinks down a little.
This is
I do owe you. It's true. At this moment right now, I'm trying to find places of lodging for everyone who is displaced from the Hollow. Now, if you can help me figure that little problem out, I have some contacts in Ba Sing Se. I'd be more than happy to travel with you. I have a boat and could help you find your friend.
How many people need lodging?
Zishan starts counting on her fingers. Oh, 300.
Fingers?
300.
You mean an abacus?
her finger abacus. All right.
She has
Shoban's-
She has 300 fingers.
Yes,
When
she
she
says
says
3
300
fingers.
When she says 300, Shoban just nods and says,
Are we counting
"I'll
this
get
as
started."
legs now?
Says, "I'll get started," and turns around and leaves and goes outside and just starts earth-bending structures out of the ground up on the surface.
I like that.
Che, there
Yeah.
are a lot of rich people up there in the town.
So you're saying we should rob them?
Well, we should persuade them to give up some space.
Have you ever known a rich person to give up anything?
My dad,
Willingly.
yeah, but
Oh.
yeah, he was weird though. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, we can
That's
ask.
why we would need to persuade them. Kind of very forced wink.
Just for fun and just so you know, Justin, I just rolled an 11 to rely on my skills and training just to see how many structures I could create while they're all down there.
You
having this
erect the
conversation.
Roman Colosseum.
It's a great. I was thinking about whether to make you roll or not, and I was like, there's no pressure or anything. You know, you've got plenty of time and ability to just make these. It was more just addressing the issue narratively.
I like to think it establishes the quality. You know,
Sure.
they're like really nice.
Yeah.
Like maybe Shoban should just get into architecture.
Yeah. That's a good
This
point.
is your true calling.
Yeah.
He even
Or
did a
just
little
gotta
bit of interior
focus on
work. There's like a nice.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I was
There's, like,
imagining
what
putting
kind
up
of-
like something that's like a decent amount of space that with like a kind of like a built-in like cot, so that people have a place to sleep or sit or whatever.
And there's like a dining room table made completely out of stone with like a vase of like stone flowers. Like everything is stone. It just looks like a nicely furnished home, but everything is
Immaculate.
beautiful.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, I guess not stone. It'd just be like dirt.
This is the surprising moment where Shoban finds himself.
This is what I should be doing. Okay, moving on.
So you don't like my idea?
No, I think we should try it. Let's
Maybe we could talk to the mayor or something. Is there a mayor?
yeah.
Well, that never
Zishan.
goes well.
Is there a mayor? We don't have a good track record with mayors, but maybe you know, third time's a charm.
mayors suck.
Fourth time.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're not gonna enjoy this mayor either. So she's a descendant of Kyla, the original founder of Hadusu City. There's a
Old
reason.
Money.
Exactly. There's a reason why everyone trusts me here in the Hollow and the Cove. And I have to look out for that because, well, Mayor Kyo just doesn't.
Well, I don't want to, I know you guys just went through something very, very traumatic and very rough, but there are a lot more of you than there are of them. And you could, seize their means, potentially.
You're talking
We've all
coup.
established that none of us is above coercion. So we could just say, give us the houses. Or no one will have the houses.
I mean, why even give the house? Just take the whole city.
You guys are crazy.
Are you talking about starting
we're-
a war between?
We're on a time
It wouldn't be
table,
much of a
you
war,
know?
right? There's a
Look.
lot more people down here.
We
than
used to
there are
try
up there.
things the slow, nice way, and I don't think it works enough. So here we are.
Hey, look, if you can start a coup and put me in power of the city, 100% I'll come with you and we'll go to Bossing Say to find your friend.
All right, easy.
Well, I mean, you would have to lead a lot of it,
Oh, of course.
Zishan.
Hey, you guys want to start a coup? And everyone just goes, yeah.
I think you could have
Oh,
asked that any day, and like that would have been the response of the people who live in a frickin' cove.
And whose homes were literally just destroyed. All right, cool. Well, this should be easy.
I feel like everyone's going to be pretty motivated after what happened.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. We got a lot of energy. It's all good energy. If you guys want to disperse throughout the town, right? Don't make any moves yet. But just be around the town, right? Start making them sweat a little bit, right? We're gonna.
I'm
go
really
pick
good at
names.
making people sweat.
You don't need to do that.
There's like
We're
lots of
gonna
fire in his hand.
We're gonna visit the mayor, right?
Oh,
And that's what we're gonna.
right.
Also, he turns to Zaishan. Don't tell Shoman. Just let him keep building houses. Maybe send some people over there and like graciously thank him.
Would you guys even know I'm doing that? Because you're inside and I'm not where you are. And I didn't say it.
Oh,
Good point. Good point. When we find out, we will do that.
also have somebody find Shoman to make sure that he doesn't stop us.
Zishan's like, okay, all right. You heard him. Everybody disperse. And a bunch of people just start leaving the cove, making their way out of the mountain to Hatusu City. And
Zishan, there's also one way you could repay us a little now. Just kind of like
Might be really helpful.
raise his eyebrows a few times and points
Well,
with
do
face at the beautiful weapon.
all right. Use this on the mayor. She kicks it. She kicks it to you.
Yes.
Everyone starts filing out of the mountain, and I'm assuming you're filing behind them as well.
Yes. So we're gonna like meander and let people sort of spread out throughout the city.
Absolutely. You walk out and immediately see Sho has already raised now at this point probably about like 50 like decent sized houses, and like you get a quick look into one, like the door is kind of open and there's like it's like furnished.
They have doors? Wow.
Yeah.
They work too.
Ren's just like poking his head into various structures.
Yeah. I mean it's incredible. It's like a 3-bed 3-bath type sitch.
Jay's just like opening and closing the door. Just
Yeah,
With
they-
no
they
running
all
water.
work. They all work.
what?
There's no creakage at all. There's no creaking.
Yeah, no creaking. But yeah, the sink obviously doesn't work because the whole thing is just earth.
Mud just spews out of the sink.
Mud spews out of the sink.
Okay.
4 stars. 4 stars.
Everything else is great, but
And what do you guys do? You make your way to the mayor's house?
yes. So we would wait a little bit to give everybody a head start.
Yeah.
But then we'd make our way to the house.
And as you're like sort of walking up to the mayor's house, Ren, you see that that guy you were talking to earlier.
The guy I smacked.
Yeah, the guy you smacked earlier. And like he's just sort of like looking around. He's like, why are all these people out here? Ugh.
We're here to take your houses. Ren's just like holding the Nakanata, stone faced.
I'm sorry, what?
Ren just walks by him.
And he's like, what are you? I'm not leaving my house, shouting after you as you all walk up to the top of this hill where there's this fancy house where the door is closed.
Is this the mayor's house?
Uh-huh.
So should we knock?
We're at the top of a hill?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Are we on like a cobblestone road?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna find a particularly large one and just heft it up, like rip it out of its placement, and then just throw it at the door.
Oh, okay. Knock, knock.
It goes crashing through the door, and you hear, "Excuse me, please." Hello.
And then,
Do you have something to say?
Did they come out, or are they still just shouting from outside?
No, you see at this point, this woman comes out, and she's got like the equivalent of like Avatar sunglasses on top of her head. She's wearing like really nice clothes. Can I help you with something?
You absolutely can. You're just gonna need to come.
Absolutely not. You can't just throw a stone through someone's house and then tell them to come with you.
You can't do that? I do that all the time.
You can if you're him.
I'm going to cut this conversation short, though. And I'm just going to use Crystal Prison on her.
Okay. I want you to push your luck. Push it real good.
Oh, I did. 10. No, 12.
Whoa.
Wait, do I get my up to passion, or should I wait?
You do not.
Okay, 11. Sorry.
Okay, you're good. So you rolled an 11. It's fine. It's 11 and 12 is the same result. You do it. It does cost you to scrape by, but you do it and get an extra opportunity. I'm gonna make it pretty simple. In order to do this fast, you gotta mark a fatigue. So in order to do this quickly without her being able to do anything, gotta mark a fatigue.
Take it.
Sound good?
Yep. That's what I gotta do. Yeah, so Che.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna.
I was gonna give you an extra opportunity.
Oh, I'll take it. I want it. While you're thinking that, I'll describe what happened. So Che flings his arm outwards, and several crystals like pierce into the ground around her, and then sprout up around her and encase her.
That was really cool.
Thanks. I wasn't sure it was gonna work.
Your opportunity is that there are a number of other wealthier people walking up this cobblestone, having followed you up here, and leading them is that the guy that Ren smacked, and he's like, you can't just do that here. But they're all sort of clustered together, like most of the rest of them that would have any ability to put up a fight with you are all sort of clustered very closely together, walking straight towards you.
Is it like a crystal prison situation, or can I just seal them in stone? Or?
I'm putting that little scenario out there and
about how many?
You play around with it. Probably a dozen or so.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot crystals out of this. What do I gotta roll?
Why don't
Oh,
you
perfect.
push your luck again.
8 that time.
An 8. Okay. Just mark another fatigue.
Okay.
And
The benefit of a crystal prison is that like there's a low likelihood they can do anything about it, right? Even if they're earthbenders.
yeah.
It's specialized.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is
That's awesome.
So you now got about a dozen of these people and the mayor all encased in crystal. And as the mob has now moved their way up to the top, Zishan sees everyone is trapped and encased in crystal. He goes, "Well, that was easy.
Yeah, it was even easier than I thought it'd be. Honestly,
That was
I feel
very
like we should.
easy."
Can we like gather in the town square now and just give the message to the rest of the people?
Absolutely, let's do it. And you all start
Yeah.
heading down to the town square, and it's at this point
We just leave them up there
Okay.
without them knowing why they've been
No, we
encased in
bring.
crystal?
I at least bring the mayor for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Oh, okay,
As
cool.
at this point, we're going to move our camera and vision away from Hatusu City and towards a little prison complex under Lake Laogai. Leeko has broken in, still undetected, thankfully, but has stumbled into a prison cell and found her foster mother, Kanu, is there. Kanu had looked up and said, "Leeko, what are you doing? What? Your arm? What happened?"
So Leeko just stares at her and says nothing and looks back outside. Now, GM question: Is there anyone coming?
There's not, no.
Okay. Is there any water like that's like kind of streaming by or something? Because we're underneath the lake, correct?
You are. I also think I remember you were holding the water
Yeah.
that you used to spiral down. So you
Mhm.
still have that as well.
Okay. So there is like some water that is streaming through like the cracks and stuff.
There might be.
We will find out. Okay. So I just circle her, looking at her, inspecting her, trying to figure out whether or not this is something that's real or if she's faking it since she's used to lying to me her entire life. And then Leeko asks, "What are you doing here?"
Kanu weakly pushes herself onto her elbows now. It's all so fuzzy. I came to Ba Sing Se to find Pengole, the Grand Master of the White Lotus, and I don't remember what happened after that. I think I spoke with him, and then I went to a tea shop, and that's the last thing I remember.
And Leeko kneels down and strokes the side of her face. "Are you lying to me?"
No, why would I lie to you? If you want to, yeah, that feels like a decent time to try and assess the situation.
Miss. I rolled 3, by the way.
All right, with a 3. You ask if she's lying. She goes, "No, I don't. No, I'm not lying, of course." And around the circumference of this room, you now notice that there's like a track that runs around the entire room. and there's a lantern that's got a green light in it, and it just starts circling around the two of you, spinning faster and faster and faster, and the whole time Connor's like, why would I lie? Why would I can't remember. Why would I lie to you? Why would I lie to you?
I don't know. Why would you lie to me?
I don't know. I don't know.
With the little bit of water that she carries around her neck in a little pouch, just a little bit. I'm gonna use I don't think I need to rely on my skills and training for this one, because I feel like she would know how to do this. But she would just shoot a water bullet towards that the Green Lantern thing. But maybe I can roll to see if I actually got it.
It's moving pretty fast, so I think I think it's a rely on your skills and training.
Okay. I rolled a 6, and so that's a miss.
You hit it, and it clatters off of the track. And then you hear from behind you. Listen, excellent shot. Incredible shot. Wow. She has been telling us all about you. And into this room behind you walks this sort of wiry looking man wearing one of those Daily uniforms that you saw earlier. He's got sort of like windswept brown hair that's like peeking out of that hat. Because it is a pleasure. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. Leeko, right?
Leeko stands up and slowly turns to face him and doesn't say anything and just looks him up and down.
The steely gaze. The steely gaze. She told us about that. Man, to a T. You are just...
Who are you?
Oh, gosh, of course, where are my manners? Agent Shock. It's really a great time to meet you. This is... Wow, incredible. How did you find us down here?
Agent. For what?
I guess it doesn't matter what I tell you here because you're not leaving. And at this point, like a squad of 12 Daily agents walk behind him. Oh, we work for the king. Sort of the citizens of Ba Sing Se know about us. They know that we keep the peace. Sort of like police officers, I guess. What they don't know is the stuff that we do down here to make sure that the people that shouldn't be in power don't get into power. We help preserve the power of the Earth King. Was that?
Yeah.
Good with that?
That sounds real fair.
It's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. So, what do you guys do in rooms like this?
Well, I think you started to see that.
You think that's really nice?
Oh, no, I do not, in fact, think that that's nice. In fact, what I do think is I would love to show you another one of these rooms.
Yeah, I don't think I'm okay with that. And then Leeko releases the water.
What do you
And when
do
she
with it?
releases the water, let's have like the, as the water starts to rush down, let's have like the, I guess you can call like the head of the water kind of form into the shape of Rue. So it looks like
I love it.
a dragon.
Yeah, I got it. That's awesome.
And as it starts to like wash down through the tunnels, it starts to make like a natural kind of roar, just because it's water that's kind of rushing around. But as it's roaring, the dragon's mouth starts to open up.
Yeah. I love that. I love that visual a lot.
And this might be where I start to roll something. I don't know if it's rely on my skills or training or push my luck. I know she can do the water thing. That's easy. But this next move, she's going to use the water from her pouch. She doesn't have her right arm. So she's going to use it as kind of like I think they call it, I've been watching as Airbender. It's like a water cloak of some sort. So she's going to have the water whip that comes out. I want to have it start to like choke this. He didn't give me his name, so the particular person that's speaking.
Agent Chunk.
Agent Chunk, correct. Okay, yeah, that's right. So I want to try to choke him with this whip of mine.
All right. All of that, considering all of that, let's make this a push your luck.
I rolled a 7, which equals a hit.
Is a hit. Costs you to scrape by. You toss all of this water down this hallway and catch these other Daily agents off of their feet. They get knocked down and pushed back further down the hallway. And Agent Shang saw it and stood still as this water came rushing through him. But as he's about to go for you, you throw this whip out from where your arm used to be, start entangling him. He's, Kanu, the king invites you to Lake Laogai. And from behind you, Kanu just wraps her arms around you in a tight, not hug, but hold. What do you do?
Leeko says, I never really did like hugs. And then she takes her other hand, forms it into an ice hook, and stabs Kanu from behind. Right here at her little neck. Like, so it kind of severs their spine. But she presses
like
him
just
very
reaching
slowly
back?
at a time. Yeah, just...
Yo. Yeah, I think that's a push your luck, for sure. With her sort of like holding on to you.
Yeah.
It's a difficult move, but
Alright. Like, come on, Leeko. It's an 11, so it's a full hit. That's my girl.
you swing your arm back, and all of a sudden that tightness that was surrounding you just falls limp. And Agent Shang is still coughing and trying to get his bearings, as well as the agents. They haven't stood up yet from your water blast. So there's a moment now, if you want to book it.
No.
Okay.
She stares at Kanu for a brief second, lets any type of memories that she had with her just kind of go in that moment. And this might be another push your luck situation, which I think it is, because she's never done this before with this many people. Well, let me see if I could do something else before I do that. Actually, so there's still water rushing.
It is now blasted through
It's-
the tunnels.
She's okay, so there's still water there though, present.
Yeah, sure.
I'm like stuck between. I don't want to use too much of this blood bending, and I don't think she could do it with this many people, and I think she'd probably know that. So let's have her take some of the water, bring it closer to her, and this is like a good amount of water, like maybe like a jacuzzi size amount of water.
Yeah.
Freeze it and start to shoot water discs at each of the soldiers, including the agent.
All right, you know what? I think it is time to go into an exchange then, if that is your intent.
Yeah.
Keep that move in mind. Whew, boy. Okay. All right. What stance are you gonna take? We haven't done an exchange in a hot minute. Ooh.
So I'm gonna strike. It's
Okay.
an advance and attack move.
So you're gonna advance and attack.
Yeah.
The rest of them are going to defend and maneuver, and so they will. The squad as well as Agent Shang will both seize a position, so they will stand up, sort of get themselves into a battle stance. And now it is your turn to advance and attack. Why don't you roll with passion?
6, I miss.
Okay, so you can shift your principles towards either roll or freedom to do one basic technique.
I mean, I'm gonna read it again because I have to. So if I
Oh, you have to shift it away from center. So you have to actually shift it towards roll if you want to do a basic technique.
I just can't see her doing that right now because she's not herself right now. So it would have to be more. She'd have to shift it more towards freedom, which would be more towards the center at this point where she's at. Because she's just not. She's not living up to her role right now in any way.
Yeah. All right.
So what would that mean?
That would mean you
this.
do not get to do anything, and we would move into another exchange.
All right, let's do it.
What stance would you like to take now? Defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe?
Let's put some pressure on these guys. So an advance attack move.
Okay. They are also going to advance and attack. You would get to go first. You may roll with passion.
11 full hit.
Okay. So you can use 2 basic or master techniques. You can also choose to mark a fatigue and use your learned technique, the Wall of Perfection. Sorry, you cannot do that because that's defend and maneuver. Never mind. I apologize. I take that back.
Let's create some sort of ice column from the water that's like nearby to just kind of block out that area because she came in from something. So let's block it out so they can't leave. So they're stuck in there with her. Okay.
To pressure them, correct?
Yeah.
What approach can they not take next exchange?
They cannot advance and attack.
Okay. And then you can do one more basic or mastered move if you have it.
Let's strike.
Okay. Are you going to mark a fatigue and make me choose, or do I get to choose? And who are you attacking? The group or Agent Shaw?
Let's do the group.
Okay.
And let me see how much fatigue I have first before I make this decision. I'll take a fatigue.
Okay.
So I can choose which one. So the way that I strike is from the ice spears come out and stab these guards.
I love it. Out of the cave walls and ceiling, just all these ice spears form. What am I marking? Fatigue or condition?
A fatigue.
Okay. 2 fatigue it is. It is their turn. All of them actually just launch their rock gloves. So they all just punch, and these rock fists that you've seen Shoban use before all just come rocketing towards you. So the group is going to use focused fire, and they are going to all of them essentially attack simultaneously. I mark fatigue, and you mark 2 fatigue and a condition. And then as you're doing that, well, first off, what condition are you marking?
There's only 2 left, guilty and troubled, and she does not feel guilty, so she feels a bit troubled, which makes sense.
Yeah. Whew. All right, and then Agent Shang launches his rock glove at you as well too, except his he's closer to you, so he doesn't launch it at you. He wraps his arm in this rock and just punches up from where he's kneeling down. And I want you to mark 2 fatigue, and if you do not mark an additional fatigue, this punch knocks you out of reach and you become disengaged.
So if I mark another fatigue,
you resist.
I'm good. This is the hard part about playing the game is also as a character, because there are things that I would do, but Leeko would not do in this particular moment. So I'm going to take the fatigue.
Okay. All right. So 3 fatigue. And
so I'm at 4 right now.
Yeah, man. You see this punch coming at you, and just in time sort of plant your feet enough for it not to knock you back further into the room. And I think we're going to just head into another exchange. What stance are you taking?
I don't have a lot of fatigue to lose here, so I'm going to evade it and observe, and I'm going to, what this particular move says, commit.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. They cannot advance an attack, or the group cannot advance an attack. So they instead will evade and observe as well. And Agent Shang will still advance and attack. Agent Shang stands up, and you see him like kick off of the wall to try and get around and like slide behind you. And as he's doing that, he like brings down this scissor kick of rock towards you. Oh, I'm gonna mark a fatigue and have you. You know what? I'll let you choose. I'm not gonna mark fatigue. I'll let you choose. You can either mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center.
So if I mark my balance away from center, that would mean that it would be closer to a roll, or I can move
Closer.
it on the opposite direction.
You have to move
freedom.
away from center, so it would move closer
It doesn't
towards
matter.
roll.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's not the case here in particular with Leeko. I can see how she would probably feel guilty for killing Kanu at this particular moment, looking down, knowing that this could possibly be her last moments, if we're going to be honest, in a situation like this.
It's very
So
unclear.
let's mark a condition. I mean, I'm just going to say, because she's not going to be closer to her role.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So in terms of guilt, it could be rushing back to her as she kind of sees that, she's maybe got herself in a situation that she shouldn't have gotten into.
I mean,
So-
here really is the choice, because you've marked all your fatigue, right? So
Yeah.
if you choose to mark a fatigue, you can't mark fatigue. You instead mark conditions.
Yeah.
So basically, you're being caught between: do I push my roll up +1, or do I mark guilty?
Marking guilty.
Okay. You have all of your conditions marked. If you need to ever mark another condition, you are taken out of the scene. Now, the good news is that it is your turn to evade and observe. You can roll with harmony or creativity, your choice. You also get to clear 1 fatigue. Just doing evade and observe, you get to clear 1 fatigue.
Let's roll with focus, and that means I get to clear fatigue.
Creativity or harmony.
Oh, creativity and harmony. I thought you said focus or harmony.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do harmony. Wait a second. That's Leeko. Let's do creativity. I get to take away 1 fatigue, right?
Correct. Okay.
7, which is a
Okay.
hit.
So on a 7, you can do 1 basic or mastered technique.
How can you tell if it's a mastered, if it's got like the X that's marked off?
Correct, yeah. So your Ice Claws is a master technique. Ice Claws, for those, is the master technique that Monroe has chosen instead of her playbooks. I think we made your playbooks technique a learned technique, and then Ice Claws is your master technique.
Okay, so everything else basically is basic.
Everything
It
else is
looks like.
basic. Correct.
Okay. It's defend and maneuver, which is a retaliate kind of type of move.
Well, you evaded and observed, correct?
I have to do one of those?
You have to do, yes, correct.
Oh,
if you,
okay,
If you
sorry.
take the evade and
Okay.
observe stance, yeah, you got to do a basic evade and observe. Or master evade and observe.
Okay, so she's not going to bolster or he'll hinder, I'll tell you that much.
I think you had mentioned commit earlier.
Yeah, because I want to try to save as much fatigue as possible, so it just seems like I have nothing to do but to commit once again.
Okay. I'm assuming you move towards freedom.
Yes. So that would make me balanced at this particular moment.
Or almost. I think your center is actually closer towards freedom. So now you'd be at 0-0 for everything. So closer to your center. Agent Shang then his gauntlet comes rocketing towards you, Leeko, and you see it in slow motion. You can see this thing is going to hit you and push you and pin you up against the back wall. Unless you mark 2 fatigue.
I can't do that. I only have 1 to give.
So yeah, if you were to do that, you would be taken out. In that case, if you don't want to do it, you are pinned up against the back of the wall and you are impaired.
And by impaired, you mean because I've already lost an arm, so
You're good. You're good. So you're slower off balance. So you can either mark 1 fatigue to remove the impaired condition, or you take a -2 to all physical actions.
I'll take a fatigue
Okay.
to minus. Wait, what was that? I heard mark 1 fatigue to minus
Or,
fatigue. I don't think that was.
No, mark 1 fatigue or take -2 to all physical actions.
Oh yeah, I'll take the fatigue.
Okay. So for those listening at home, I believe all of your fatigue and all of your conditions are now marked.
Yep.
Does Leeko just combat, or does she want to do something?
Let's commit once again.
Okay, going to another exchange.
So I'd have to shift my balance towards freedom,
Well, let's
right?
figure out what the NPCs are going to do first and figure out what's going to happen. They can advance and attack again, and they are going to do so. And Agent Shang is going to evade and observe. So at this point, all 12 of them start like jumping into this room, all around this room, like sort of gliding along the rock wall into this room. And as they're sort of gliding around, they're firing their fists at you. And they're going to mark another fatigue. And you need to mark 2 fatigue and a condition, which means that at the end of this exchange, you will be taken out. So I will.
I mean, she has no more fatigue to give, so she just has to be, and she has no more conditions to
Yeah.
mark, so she just has to be taken out.
So at the end of this exchange, you'll be taken out. You can still do your thing, which is to evade and observe. So you can roll with creativity or harmony.
Now I wish I struck. Did something. Okay. I rolled the 2, which is a complete mess.
So
But that also makes sense.
it does. If you want to, you can shift your balance away from center to do one basic technique, or we can just let it lie.
I need all the help I can get, so I can. You want me to shift it towards freedom?
You have to shift it away from your center, and right now your center is.
Oh, it's got to be towards roll.
It's got to be
then.
towards roll. Yep.
All right.
And then you're evading and observing, so you can unmark one of those fatigue, clear one of those fatigue,
Nice. Thank you.
and then I don't say I didn't give anything to you.
Yeah.
What basic move? What basic move are you gonna take?
Oh gosh. Okay, and it has to be evade and observe,
It has
right?
to be evade and observe. Yep.
You know, Leeko, if there's anything I've learned about her by playing her, is that she's a fighter. So let's test this agent's balance here.
Yeah.
So she's gonna mark another fatigue.
Yeah. Mark the fatigue. What do you say? As you've gotten pelted with all of these like rock fists. You just stare Agent Shang down. What do you say?
So I think this is the first time I've ever done this. So maybe I need to ask the group exactly how this is done, because I think I've seen other people do this. But it says ask what their principle is, and they have to answer honestly. So exactly how do I go about doing that? Because I've never done this before as a player.
It kind of depends. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can do it. Your principle is essentially the thing that drives you, gets you to do things. Your North Star. So some question or some comment that tries to get them to reveal what guides them. I should also say too, if you want to just try and guess at what their principle is, and just tell me what you think it is, you can instead shift their balance.
I mean, I think she's just she's having, how many fatigues has she gotten already? I don't think she wants to guess anything at this point. I think she just wants to, as she's in her last fatigue, once again in this particular fight, she's staring him in the eye and asks, "Who are you?"
He looks you in the eye and goes, I serve the Earth King. I serve the Earth King's will. And right now, he wants to place certain people in certain positions around the world. You'll know about that soon enough. And your vision starts to go splotchy. and then you fall unconscious. And as your body falls unconscious, Leeko, we see at this point the camera like zooms up Kanu's still body lying next to Leeko's still body as the Dai Li agents pick both of them up, drag them out of the cell. And then the camera zooms in on where Leeko's body was, and as the dust settles, we see a note, sort of crumbled, half written, and we just linger there for a moment. And then we cut to Hatusu City as the three of you are standing in front of the crowd, having just taken over a village.
Look at these buildings, these houses. You see how big they are? You see these stones and how they were laid? They were laid with the blood and sweat and tears of your forefathers, not theirs. These homes are yours now. This town is yours now. Everybody out here wants to take something for themselves. I am giving this city to you because it is yours. Take it.
Thank you.
Zishan, do you want to say anything?
Zishan walks up to the stage and looks at the crowd of cheering people and looks at the three of you, Rozak and Ren and Che. And she looks back at the crowd and says, "Hold your applause, because the energy I sense from you, which is a good energy, you deserve everything that these wonderful heroes have given you. This is your town. But this moment came about because of that dichotomy. Because people thought that this was their town and that the people who don't deserve to be here should go to the Cove, should go to the Hollow. This is your town, but we will do so much better than them. We will make this a place for those that are outcast from society, those that are refugees and fleeing atrocities. This will become a safe haven for them, a harbor for them. This is your town. Make it count." And then she turns to the three of you and goes, "Thank you. You've done a good thing here today."
I think you did one better. Thank you.
Where's your architecture friend?
I think
He's still
building out.
busy.
And you look around and you don't see him anywhere.
You betrayed us again. I told you.
He's probably just in the bathroom.
No. He did make some really nice ones.
And a little kid tugs on, actually the little girl that Leeko had interacted with, sort of hobbles up to Che and tugs on Che's cloak.
What is it? He crouches.
The guy that was building houses told me to give this to you. And she hands you a note.
Oh, thank you. I guess.
What does it
Johnny,
say?
do you want to read your note?
Sure. The note says, to Ren Song, Rozak, and Che now. Che, I think you were right all along. I don't belong in this group. Ren, did you ask me to stay because you cared about me, or because you were afraid to lose another person? I know what it feels like to me, and I hope you don't have to lose anyone else. Rozak, I'm sorry for everything. I'm going to the Earth King to warn Ba Sing Se about what's coming. Shoban.
He's totally gonna come back and fight us later.
How did you get that from that letter?
Well, he's gonna go back to the people
He really
who
hates cops.
took over his mind the last time he left us.
Well, he didn't fight us when he was a cop. I mean, he
Well,
punched
we
you,
were
but that's because you were a
close.
jerk.
No, that was after.
All right.
Afterwards.
Oh, was it?
He was
There's
normal.
been a lot going on.
So it sounds like we have yet another reason to go to where we've been going or trying to go to. So let's get there. Rozak turns to Zishan. Rozak turns to Buff Lady Zishan and goes, We helped you and your people. Well, I mean, I watched. Che did. Che worked most of the magic. I mean, I'm just happy to be here. But can you help us get to Ba Sing Se?
Absolutely.
Can you help us see the Earth
No.
King?
Find yourself. No, I can't do that. I don't want to be arrested.
Yeah, I should have thought of that too.
Yeah.
Word might travel pretty fast about what just happened here. So
I'll figure it out. I'll smooth it over. In fact, perhaps if I go now, I can look. The Earth King doesn't care about who's in charge of all these small little towns. He only cares that we offer fealty to
I
him.
told you guys.
So,
I told you.
one more question. Are you fine? We just gave you a city.
Well,
Are you fine leaving the citizens of your newfound city?
I've got people who are pretty loyal to me. I'm not. And she looks over at the couple dozen people that are trapped in crystal. Not super worried about a reverse Uno. Who,
Okay.
that would be really impressive.
What's Uno?
You've never played Uno.
I've never
Yeah,
played
that's.
that.
You've
Well-
never played Uno?
That's the most popular game in the Earth.
I've played Uno.
Well,
What do you-
no, now I feel really left out. Let's
We'll
just
play later, dude. Don't worry.
we'll come back.
you're
We'll
right.
take a rain
Let's
check
go.
on this.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we'll have some time on the boat ride across the lake. We can play some Uno. I can teach you how to do that thing. Can
You're gonna make up
The
Uno
thing?
rules, Justin?
I? The thing.
You talking about Uno still?
No, I'm not talking about Uno. I'm talking about the.
Oh,
You're
Wait,
gonna,
Shade
you're
didn't
gonna
know
teach me
about
how to
that.
turn someone into a noodle?
Yes, absolutely.
Ren just says, "I'll explain. No, later. It's okay."
very confused.
so we're going across the lake.
Yeah, that's how you get to Ba Sing Se. There's a.
Rose has a quick flashback of him kicking his father in a boat directly across the lake. This goes, oh,
Then Rozak has a traumatic flashback to a giant pool of water with what kind of sharks? I forget what kind of sharks they are.
Gopher sharks.
we'll go fishing.
And having to cross that.
But are you okay with the water?
I'm sure we won't run into anything there. No sharks or under his breath fathers. All right, let's go.
No, whatever.
And as you're walking away, the camera stays where it's at as the four of you are walking towards the mountain, and the last thing we hear is Zishan just going there is a giant serpent in the lake, and then it fades out into the Avatar music, and
It zooms in on all of our faces, being like, "What?"
what is going to happen next? What is going to happen to Leeko? I have no idea. But we've got some time to figure it out. Let's just you know what? I was going to say this at the top, but we were having so much fun debating the eyes and legs thing. I think the end game is in sight.
It's pretty crazy.
We
Yeah,
knew
I feel it too.
We're in the end game now.
We're in the end game now. We knew it was coming. We knew that Ba Sing Se was the goal, and you guys are right there. You're
Two of us
basically
are already there.
you're basically at Ba Sing Se already.
They're doing better than we are.
And so, I want to reiterate, just because the end game is in sight for this season does not mean we're going to be done telling the story. There is, I feel like, plenty of stuff that we have set up for tons of stories in the future. So while this season may be coming to an end, we are only going to get crazier and crazier from here on out. What do you guys think about that? Does
I
that
think
sound
we're
good?
pretty
We're going
crazy already.
crazier
I
and
don't-
crazier.
I don't want to keep.
Crazier, and
I
We're
don't know
gonna
if we
get
can turn
kooky
it up.
crazy.
Yeah,
we're gonna get cool.
my tummy's already getting
I'm gonna
upset
say-
on this roller coaster. I don't need it to go even crazier.
Well, there'll be some narrative resolution. It wouldn't be a good story if it was an eternal roller coaster up.
True.
Speaking of a roller coaster that only goes up, I'm gonna lead into my my end of episode stuff. I guess we should reiterate too that we launched a Patreon. And you know what? I should have mentioned, I think as of this episode, if you're listening to this, I think our deal for the free t-shirt is ending today. I should have mentioned that in the last episode. Maybe we'll do that at the top of the episode. But yeah, we launched a Patreon. And we're excited to use Patreon to sort of grow this podcast into something even bigger and better than it is right now. And it's already pretty great, if I do have to say so myself.
For sure.
So one of the ways you can help support us directly is checking out that Patreon. If you have the ability to give monthly, feel free to join us. Otherwise, if not, there are two ways you can definitely help. You can come to our Discord. Link in the show notes. We're having a ton of fun just interacting with people on Discord. You can also tell a bunch of friends. Tell as many friends as you have. And I did hear that for every friend you tell, Steve will launch an ostrich into space.
Always excited to find out what I'm going to do.
Explain yourself, Steve. They're an endangered species, I think.
He's trying to save them.
Yeah.
Well, I think we just decided that they need to go out with a bang. So
Okay.
They'll all be wearing.
there's only
They'll
a
all
few
be
of you
wearing
left. You may as well
snorkels.
get launched into space. What?
That's how I want to go.
Best way to, from Steve, the best way to die is to get launched into space. We will see you
With
next
a
week,
snorkel.
everybody.
Flightless bird.
And
Behold the man.
all right, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
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 Avatar Legends was developed and produced by Magpie Games. The worlds of Avatar The Last Airbender and Avatar The Legend of Korra are property of Viacom CBS. Intro music is Dizu by Sendai. Outro music is Tokyo Funk by LATG Music. Logo and art by Kate and Matthew Menke. You can find more of their work at pomakin.com, link in the show notes.